In today's video, we're diving into some deep cleaning in the hopes that we can get the downstairs of this house looking, and more importantly, smelling less terrible. You know when the house just smells musty, things have been smushed into the carpet, the cushions and blinds are holding on to smell, and it just needs a good freshen up. As usual, I've compiled some of my favourite TikToks from this month into one long form video, because I know a lot of you don't watch me over there. And of course, we're going to have a good old chat whilst we get it all done. So let's get into the video. Are you ready for another huge deep clean? These are literally my favourite videos to make. Remember when I said I had the ick with cleaning the other day? Well, that has well and truly passed now. And I got so stuck into this clean, I almost forgot to pick Rudy up from school. It's another longish one, but I promise you it's worth it if you like watching grimy things get cleaned. We're pulling the oven out, getting behind that, pulling out all of the appliances, and I finally got to use my new floor scrubber that I've been dying to use. You will not believe the amount of dirt I got up from my floor. Just putting the batteries away into my very organised drawer. If you watch my declutter video, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I had intended to deep clean the whole house in one video, but as usual that did not happen because the kitchen alone took up the whole thing. So we'll make our way through the house another time. And I just want to mention, before I get too engrossed in this voiceover, that there's currently an imposter circulating around TikTok, and they're posting clips of my YouTube videos pretending to be my backup account. They're using my exact profile picture, my name, and telling everyone to follow them. And I just wanted everyone to know that that is not me and not my backup account. I just want to show you how much it looks like me though. The top comment is them, the bottom comment is me. Cheeky so-and-so. So yeah, be on the lookout for Remy Clog UK, that is not me. Anyway, I'm determined to not let it wind me up. Look at all this grime we've got to clean. I love it. What I don't love though is that I've almost run out of elbow grease. It's my favourite cleaning product at the minute. And for some reason I didn't finish filming this bit, but I did clean it thoroughly and you'll be able to see that in a minute. The floor behind the oven was absolutely caked in grease. I'm not sure how it got there, but I was pretty much having to scoop it up with the sponge. There was also a daddy longlegs that had become encased in it and that deeply upset me. Anyway, I find whenever I do a deep clean, I keep noticing more and more things that need doing. And something that was only meant to take a few hours at most ends up taking me the entire day. There was actually more I wanted to get done in this kitchen, but as I said, I had to do the school run. And after I'd done that, I didn't want to let it pull any more of my attention away from the kids. But next time, I want to wipe down the doors. I also want to paint the little bits at the bottom of the cupboard that have been chipping away. Still doesn't make it look perfect, but it disguises it a bit. I feel like no matter what I do with those cupboards at the minute, no matter how clean I keep them, they still look grubby because of the chips. It's just that material, isn't it? I also want to give the windows a good clean because, as usual, they're revolting. I want to get one of those squeegee window hoover things. I don't know what they're called. The things that don't leave streaks. Because honestly, my window cleaning skills are atrocious. And 90% of the time, they end up looking worse than when I started. And that's behind the oven checked off the list. Next, I needed to take the bins out and get rid of all of these sandcastle toys that Ike brought in from the garden. Caked in mud as well. Lovely. I wasn't bothered though, because it just meant I had more to clean with my new scrubbing brush. The reason I got one was because I saw this lady on TikTok. She's a professional cleaner. And she was talking about how many people use sponge mops and how much dirt they still leave behind on the floor. This is not chewing gum, by the way. It's a bit of chewed up Mawam. Don't know why I'm saying it like it's a better alternative, but yeah. But anyway, she was scrubbing away and pulling up layers of dirt that our clients didn't even realise was there. After she did that, she went over it with a spin mop, poured away all the dirty water, and then went back again, and the amount of buckets of dirty water she got. So I got a spin mop as well, and I never thought I'd see the day where I'd betray my sponge mop. But I think I might have been converted. I got up so much dirt, and it was so satisfying. I mean, look at that. That is absolutely disgusting. It doesn't help that the floor's got ridges in it as well, so it traps and holds on to dirt. And the flooring in the living room is even worse for that. So I can't wait to see what I get up from that floor. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. And do you know what else I'm looking forward to? Spring. I smelt it in the air for the first time this morning and felt hope and optimism enter my body again. I always tell people I have reverse seasonal affective disorder. I absolutely love the last 3 months of the year. October, November, December just feels so magical. By the end of January though, I'm ready for another season. Especially if it doesn't snow, which it hasn't properly here for years. It's just grey and rainy and muddy, and don't get me wrong, I love rain. I love being all cosy in the house and listening to it tap away at the window, or getting caught in it with the boys when it's absolutely hammering it down and running home. That's great, but this is just constant drizzle. You can't even call it rain. It's just wet and boring. And I'm ready to smell freshly cut grass and see the shoots on the trees. I don't know about anyone else. I can't wait to carry on with my garden as well. I never got to finish that last year because of rain. But I'm going to get a nice bench, build a sandcastle in the corner for the boys, put out some fairy lights, get one of those mounted parasols for near the kitchen window because there is absolutely no shade in our garden. And I also can't wait to start growing fruit again. A few years ago, I had so many fruit plants growing and I was so proud of myself. It was just the best feeling to be able to give my boys homegrown raspberries and strawberries. And then they all just randomly started dying. Like for years, they were thriving. And then it seemed like overnight they all wilted and died, and I'm wondering whether it had anything to do with the leather jacket grubs that killed the lawn. I don't know. By the way, I know the bathroom's a state. Like I said, I had intended to clean that too, but it'll have to be in the next video. And by the way, that was a crispy dried up leaf in the potty, not poo. I can't believe how many disclaimers I have to do regarding my bathroom. The other day it was chocolate that looked like poo, now it's a leaf. To be fair, sometimes it is actually poo, but I like people to know which is which. Still going strong with the floor clean. This is round 2 and I was still getting up so much muck. I'm definitely throwing the sponge mop away. I definitely wouldn't use a spin mop just on its own, but with the scrubbing brush, perfect combo. I spent so much time on this, I was honestly having the best time. I know that's sad. But anyway, I gave it one last once over. I started to run out of time at this point, and I wanted to get the rest of the surfaces done, otherwise I probably would have carried on mopping. I bet I could have got at least one more dirt-filled bucket. But yeah, I had a whiz round, put everything back in its rightful place, wiped down the rest of the surfaces, pulled everything out this time. Shocking, I know. That's a constant source of annoyance for some people, you know. Sometimes you just don't have time, and I stand by that. What's the worst that can happen? A little bit of dirt accumulates under the toaster. I had to tell my son to stop bringing slugs inside on 3 separate occasions today. I think we'll survive. Anyway, that's looking much better, and that's pretty much all we've got time for. Just got to do one last thing, which is light a candle to seal it. So happy. So we're doing some more deep cleaning today. Carrying on from my big kitchen deep clean, and we're going to do the toilet and the living room now. Thank God Charlie tidied up while I was at work last night. So at least now I don't have to clear up on top of cleaning. Because yet again, this clean took me all day. It's been really fun though because I've been home alone all day. So I've started catching up on Love Island All Stars. I wasn't going to watch this series, but one of my best friends told me it was worth watching for the drama, so I thought, go on then, let me get obsessed. I know some people can't stand Love Island, but I really enjoy it. It's a bit of escapism, isn't it? It's all shallow and light-hearted. And when the world feels so gloomy, like it has done for the last 4 years, sometimes that's just what you need, isn't it? Anyway, today we're deep cleaning the living room blinds, which is so satisfying to watch. I'm getting my scrubbing mop out to do the floors again, and just getting to some of the stuff I've neglected a bit. The settee is literally covered in greasy finger marks and wax pen, so I want to give that a good clean. And obviously, this bathroom, it doesn't look overly dirty, but when you zoom in, it's grim. Especially that crevice between the back of the toilet and the seat. It always seems to hold on to dust and hair and all sorts. You'll see in a minute. So yeah, I got loads done again. I sometimes wish though that I could get a decent amount done each day, instead of having to have these mad cleaning binges every week or so. That's what I mean, look. Ugh. But yeah, it is what it is. You do it when you can, don't you? When I first started making cleaning videos, I'd always find myself over-explaining why and how things got messy so fast. Or why I hadn't carved out time to perform a task that, realistically, would have taken a few seconds to do. Like wiping that bit next to the toilet seat. I find myself talking about the whys less and less now. But I do still like to get into it every now and then. And I always will. But now, it's less in the hopes of getting judgmental people to understand, and more centred around helping other messy people know they're not alone in it. My intention from the beginning was always to help people. But I think my inner child, the little Remy who didn't have the words to articulate herself back then, wanted everyone to understand. Because so many of us struggle with messiness. And a lot of us have carried labels like lazy and scatterbrained with us throughout our entire lives. And it felt so wrong because we'd have these very visceral and punch-in-the-gut reactions of, I'm not lazy, I'm actually trying really, really hard. And that feeling like you're trying your hardest but you're still way behind everyone else, it's a horrible feeling. And it sticks with you. Especially when people from the outside looking in see it as a moral failing or a character flaw, rather than something you're battling with. So yeah, some people might struggle with maths or reading. Some people struggle with coordination. I struggle with being organised and keeping on top of mess. And while we can always work to find solutions and implement systems that help us to function or improve in certain areas, I think it's also important to remember that when it comes to each facet of our lives, we're all on different playing fields. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what makes life interesting. And ultimately, that's how society keeps on functioning. Funnily enough, there's actually anthropological research that delves into why some of us are wired a little bit differently and how that benefited us as a species and kept us going. But that's a conversation for another time, I think. So, will I ever be able to convince everyone that messiness doesn't necessarily mean laziness? No, absolutely not. But I'm not here for those people. I'm here to heal the inner child of people like me. People who grew up thinking, maybe I am just lazy. My videos are designed to be a virtual hug to the mum who's chronically overwhelmed and wondering why her home doesn't look like the homes she sees on social media. Or the lady in her 60s who's just now getting a diagnosis of ADHD and who's feeling pretty angry about having gone all this time wondering why everything felt so unnecessarily difficult and why she had to have an internal battle just to perform the simplest of tasks, like making the bed and brushing her teeth. This is who I'm here for. I'm here to be the person I wish I'd have had when I was 15. And stepping over piles of clothes and rubbish, wondering where to start and how other people were able to prevent this in the first place. Some people struggle with picking up as they go along. Some people struggle with time management. Some people struggle with initiating tasks and building momentum. And these are all genuine and valid experiences that I want to shed light on. You know, I love to have a laugh and be light-hearted with these videos. I want to leave people feeling happier than when I found them. But at the same time, these topics mean so much to me, and ultimately, they're why I started this channel in the first place. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and tell me that because of my videos, they understand their partner a little bit more. Or they've found themselves being less scathing and more compassionate to their adult child and they want to build some bridges. And for every ignorant and hurtful thing I might hear on this platform, hearing those things make all of that worth it. Knowing that my videos could be the reason that a parent stops and thinks before they tell their child who already feels like they're treading water that they just need to try harder, that the solution is simple and they're just not trying hard enough, that's what keeps me going. I genuinely feel like I've found my calling with these videos. And I know some people will find that strange because they're just cleaning videos. It's just me cleaning my house. But to me, they're so much more than that. And for as long as I'm able, and for as long as they help people, I'll be here making them. Anyway, as you can see, I've been going back and forth from the toilet to the living room whilst things dry. At this point, I was about 3 episodes into Love Island and having the absolute time of my life. I saw a TikTok earlier where this woman was asking her boyfriend who he'd choose out of the girls in Love Island. And then she was saying she got upset with his answers. And while that was going on, a friend had texted her that she'd just done the exact same thing and was now crying in the bathroom. And I just want to know, why is this a universal experience, asking questions you know there's no right answer to? Because if they say they wouldn't pick anyone, you know they're lying and don't be a liar. But if they do pick someone, they're a dickhead. It's similar to that "would you love me if I was a worm" question. Why do we do it to ourselves? By the way, I forgot to mention, because I know I'm going to get this comment about the blinds, I cannot take them down and put them in the bath to soak because they are literally drilled into the wall. Long story. But if I could take them down and clean them in an easier way, I would. I like cleaning them that way though, to be fair. It's really satisfying. And I got that new limited edition pink elbow grease, so I was really excited to try that. I had a hard time here trying to remove what I think was a dried on bogey that someone had flicked while they were sat on the toilet. Living with boys is so lovely. Don't even want to know what was spilled down the side there. The sink is constantly being blocked with something or another. And the back of the toilet has a small leak and I keep putting off calling someone to fix it. I really need to do that. Making those kind of phone calls really stresses me out though. I don't know why. Anyway, went over with the Hoover again because as you probably noticed, I didn't get rid of half of the stuff that was stuck in there. Put everything back in its place and then I got round to mopping the other bit of the living room. I had to do it in sections because I'd kind of dumped everything into one corner of the room. As I predicted in the last video, I got so much dirt up from this floor with the new floor scrubber. And at this point I was on the clock because it was almost time for school pickup. So I just wanted to get some finishing touches done. The material that covers our little white table started chipping off. So I wanted to try and disguise it a little bit with some white paint. I know it's not perfect and we will be getting a new table at some point. But at least for now there won't be obvious brown spots on it. Because every time I look at it at the minute, it just looks like there's random crumbs that I haven't picked up and it's been doing my head in. It's because we had loads of those child safety strips all over it and Ike ended up ripping some of them off. And when he did that, I think because he did it so fast, the adhesive ripped some of the table up with it, so that's fab. Never mind, eh? Living with two young boys, I don't expect the house to ever look perfect. And I wouldn't want it to. I like that the doors have loads of stickers all over them. And there are toys in every room. I sometimes get comments from people saying I should restrict my kids' toys to one room or to their bedroom. And I just think, why? They live here too. A lot of the time they want to sit and play in the room I'm in, and why would I begrudge them of that? Honestly. Anyway, last on my list was to wipe down this settee, and I was using the pink drop stuff, so it smelled absolutely amazing. I had a very pink day when it came to the cleaning products. Pink elbow grease, pink stuff drops, pink stuff floor cleaner. You can imagine how good the house smelt. And so I had to finish off the clean with a pink candle. I felt like it really fit in with the theme of the day too. I usually go for cosy cinnamony kind of smells, but today was different. Anyway, we're all done.